Hey cycling community, this is Steve Brusis, the Cycling Greek. How do you become a faster climber? Well, there's 4 areas you can focus on. You can get lighter, you can get stronger, you become more efficient, or you can work on not slowing down. Today I'm going to explore each of those disciplines and see what is the best area to focus on. What you're also going to see are 3 cyclists with distinct combinations of age, pedaling style, and size. Actually, you're only going to see 2. The third person is going to be the one behind the camera, and that's me. Right now you're looking at the accountant. He's about 5'6", 5'7", and about 150 pounds. He is in his mid-50s and has a very slow cadence. The next rider who you'll see coming to the front is the Colonel. He's about 5'5", 5'6", in his upper 130s, and has a consistently high cadence like what you're seeing now. He has a compact crank and uses every bit of it. As for me, my age is in the low 60s, and that still seems odd to me. My weight's in the mid 160s, and the cadence I use ranges from very high to low. And during crunch times, I use very high cadence. Let's for the moment turn our attention to the 2 riders in front of us. Ken, the Colonel, who's in the front, seems to be spinning almost at twice the rate that Kevin, the accountant, is right behind him. Now, between the 3 of us, Kevin is clearly the strongest climber. Even though I'm always advocating higher cadence spinning when climbing, here's a case where somebody uses very low cadence that can beat climbers that use high cadence like Ken and I by many minutes on this 8-mile climb. The numbers you are seeing at the lower left-hand corner of the screen are my stats. So it looks like the accountant here is starting to get frisky and starting to ramp it up. So I'm doing what I can to stay on his wheel. And I am using higher cadence. So you'll notice that my RPMs are in the 90s, and they sometimes go into the upper 90s. My wattage there, when you see it go above 290 watts, and 290 is my 20-minute threshold wattage, that I'm beginning to feel the effort. Let's now go back to the 4 areas that you can work on to become a faster climber. Let's start with weight. 2 areas you can lose weight on: your equipment and yourself. Losing weight on your equipment, there's usually not a lot that you can lose unless you've had a very, very heavy bike. And to lose weight, that'll cost you. It seems to cost about, say, $100 a gram. You can go after new wheels that are lighter, particularly on the outside of the wheel, thereby decreasing your rotational weight. Again, an expensive proposition unless you have the budget for it. So the other area that you can lose weight on is you. Unless you are beanpole thin, where you can turn to your side, stick your tongue out, and people think you're a zipper, you're probably like the rest of us. You have ample weight to lose. Even 5 pounds can make a difference. But is this what you should focus on first? And how should you do it? If you do it wrong, you'll get lighter, but you're going to lose power. In some cases such as those, where you wanted to lose weight to become a faster climber, you may end up becoming a slower climber, doing a lot of bonking, not feeling good, maybe getting sick more often than you should. The next item that I mentioned was getting stronger. Now, when people hear strength, they think of muscular strength, and this is a considerable part of it. But I'm also including into it increasing your VO2 max, which is a hard thing to do, and increasing your lactate threshold. All this takes hard and dedicated work to do. When you do throw in VO2 max and lactate threshold, you're actually introducing the 4th item that I mentioned, not slowing down. Or another way to put it, your capacity. I define capacity in this situation as the decrease in your power ebbing on a sustained climb. I have gotten a bit out of order here, so the last item that I have is efficiency. To work on being as efficient as you can, you start first by relaxing your body. If you are using muscles that aren't used to propel yourself forward, then you're wasting energy. That's energy that can be used into pedaling faster or pedaling fast longer. Keep your jaw relaxed. Don't clench your teeth. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Don't hunch them up. Don't have a death grip on your handlebar. You only want to hold your handlebars as tight as required to be safe. A trick that I sometimes use on long climbs is playing the piano. So I have my hands on top of the bars, and then I start to flutter my fingers as if I was playing the piano. Doing this helps to remind me to not only relax my wrists, but my shoulders as well. The body works as a single unit. The core has to be strong, so the hips are not losing any efficiency trying to propel the legs to push the bike forward. If I have other muscles that I don't need that are engaged, then I'm wasting energy and ultimately limiting my power. Let's now turn our focus back to the three riders on the screen. At this point, we've been climbing for about 15 and a half, maybe 16 minutes. Kevin, the accountant, has been at the front since I pulled off and is not looking to relinquish his pacing duties. Ken, the colonel, is in back of me, and even though we are pretty much evenly matched, today he's feeling the effects of the pace more than I am. My wattage has been around my 20-minute FTP. My cadence has dropped into the 80s. The accountant has been pretty consistent. His cadence has been, I'm guessing, around 65 or so. I made a little move to try and go to the front, but then I thought the better of it. So now I'm just hanging on. So how would I do it? What would I focus on to become a faster climber? I would focus on the strength triad: muscular, VO2 max, lactate threshold. This will not only make me stronger muscularly, but it'll give me more capacity so I can go stronger, longer. I would continue to work on efficiency, pedaling from the hips, full pedal stroke, high cadence spinning, maintaining that. As for my weight, I would not panic on that. I would make small changes to ensure that I was using food as a fuel, eating only when I was truly hungry, and ensuring I was consuming enough to do the training. As you can see, we are about 18 minutes into the climb. The colonel has disconnected minutes ago. I am starting to feel my limit and doing what I can to hang on. And there he goes. I slow, get my legs under me, then I start to chase again. After a bit, I start to bring Kevin back, but that just lasts for a little while. He maintains his pace, maybe gets a little faster, and he finishes the climb 6 minutes ahead of me. Granted, he's 15 pounds lighter than I am, but he is one strong rider. It just shows me I have a lot of room for improvement. Improvement in this area is not limited to the young. You can be any age and improve. Last year, I had this female client that was right around my age, and she loved to climb, and she wanted to focus on this one hill climb time trial that was about 6.7 miles long, and it averaged, I'd say, about 7.5%. And the last 3/4 mile was a wall that went as high as 15%. And the very fast racers could break 40 minutes, and Cat 3s can do in the low 40s, and the Cat 4s are doing around the mid 40s, the ones that were climbers. And her best time before she became my client was around 71 minutes. Weight was not an issue for her. So we worked on her muscular strength, VO2 max, and lactate threshold. We also worked on her pedaling efficiency. She followed my program to the letter, and the results were amazing. They exceeded my expectations. She came in at a little over 50 minutes, so she beat her old time by over 20 minutes. That was an amazing day for me. She was not a racer. She was just a pure recreational rider. And you can have these improvements too. I offer weekly customized plans built around your schedule. Unlimited communication at a very inexpensive price. My contact information is listed below in the description. Now, back to the video. It looks like I'm catching up to Kevin here, but I'm not going to get much closer to him. My higher cadence at power is just about all gone. So now I'm in bigger gears and doing what I can to close the distance. Of course, we did not start with this climb when we did this ride. We race paced up to the foot of the 5 miles of stepped climbs that leads to the start of this climb that we had here. This was a good day. We got to put ourselves on the edge and we benefited from that. So time to close. Thanks for listening. I hope you learned something from this. And remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.